Welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown. Today, once again, we got Coach Charley Parker of the Lady Bulldogs basketball team. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Tom. Just getting ready for a blizzard coming in.
I tell you, it seems like that's always seems to be on the stretch here. After this last half of the season, where there's always been those little storms out there. Are we going to have it? Are we going to have a game tomorrow? Or everything going to work out? So, yeah, it's supposed to be a big one.
Yep.
It's President's Day. I have a for Christmas. My oldest son got me a bobblehead doll of Ronald Reagan. And I was going to bring it up here. Didn't want to be political or anything, but I'm like, hey, what a great president. Have a little bobblehead up here to celebrate President's Day. But
That'd been nice.
that would have been
Yeah.
fun. Add a little excitement to it. So, Coach, man, sitting at 19-4 right now.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a season. You're ranked number 7 in the state. Again, in just a loaded Class 6 field. You've had 2 losses since the Christmas break. West Plains always in the finals. It seems like a powerhouse at West Plains. And then to Owensville in the Herman tournament against Owensville, which was a Final Four team last year, and against state ranked. So since then, but you rattled off 5 just really convincing wins. So take us through kind of where it's been after the holiday tournament.
You know, yeah, we come out of the holiday tournament and then beat Hillcrest, state ranked Hillcrest, and then our January was tough. We played a game on Thursday, took a week off. Played a game on Thursday, took a week off. Played a game on Thursday, took a week off, and then rolled into the Herman tournament. It was hard to stay sharp, when you get 7-8 days off. But the girls done a good job doing that. West Plains played really well on their home floor the night that they beat us. Nothing to take away from them. We didn't play bad. They just played really good. They shot it well, and I'd actually talked to Coach Womack before the game and told him, I said, your post player will be the X factor, and first half we kept her to 2 points, and she had 18 in the second half.
Wow.
And they hit 10 threes on us, and we had to start going out and guarding hard out there. That's the game I'd like to have back. Owensville game, I'd really like to have that one back and healthy. With Madison Hutton got a concussion. She was out 2.5 weeks right there. We didn't have her for that game. She's a big impact player in what we're doing. Riley Dotson was suffering from the flu and battling through that. And no excuses. Hats off to Owensville and Coach Van Leer. He does a great job with them. But that's another game I'd like to have back. But that's just the way the ball rolled that night. And then then we started rolling again. Thank you. Then we had come out. We had Waynesville for senior night. Herman, we turned around in the Herman tournament, bounced back, and took care of business against them. And they had a really good player that's going to William Jewell. And then Cuba for senior night, Waynesville, and then Father Tolton. Father Tolton the other night, we were down 1. We were down 1 at halftime against them, and we went on a 36-0 run to start the third quarter. And
I want that's like freaking unheard of.
Yeah.
36.
If you actually went back to the second quarter, we went on a 40-0 run. We ended the second half, on scoring the last 2 buckets, and then we went on 36-0 run. So he was actually on a 40-0 run at one time.
So what was it? Was it the defensive end?
Yeah,
just getting after
we just started getting after it defensively, and they ran a zone against us, and our shots just wasn't falling. We was getting good looks, they just wasn't going in the hole. And I told them just keep letting it fly. And finally, we started getting turnovers and just leading to easy transition baskets. And then when we did get, they'd miss a shot and we got the rebound, we'd go down and they started falling for us. And we just started rolling, and that was fun.
I bet it was. Oh my gosh. Oh, your offense has been, it's a little bit of everything, but you get so much out of transition. And it's not just the transition layups that you get those transition threes as well, where you're able to spread it, get that one extra pass and go. And then on the defensive end, I mean, you're holding teams at under 40 points a game, and while scoring over 60 points a game. I mean, that's a nice spread.
Mm-hmm.
You play a lot more up tempo, and then that intensity you'll put out there defensively, where it's amazing because your rotations about what, 8 kids, 7 kids. Yeah, and so that can get a little tough, and they don't seem to get tired.
No.
I mean, they're well conditioned.
Yep.
And I think mentally they're well conditioned, which I think showed in that that 40-0 run.
Yeah, and these girls, they got a lot of fight in them. And they, like I've said all season, they believe in what we're doing, and they're trusting in what we're doing. Um, and they're allowing me to coach them, and allowing me to coach them in practice is rolling over to games because I can, coach them hard in games, and you can see it flip, and they know they're not doing their job. They need to step it up, and they're holding themselves accountable and taking their own ownership in it, and holding others accountable, and still they know when their teammates say let's go, they got to go, and it's been fun.
Well, I think we talked before about the seniors, and again you mentioned senior night, which again was a great night against Waynesville here on the home court, doing the things they have to do. But everyone's been able to kind of step up and own their role.
Yeah.
And you have your three primary scorers. Dotson's been on more of a run here lately, but again between her and Akela and Maya, I mean Watkins, they can all they can all put up points.
Yeah.
And then everybody else just does a role. And it may be their night. Like we talked about in the championship game of the holiday tournament, Bryceland had her moment. But defensively, they'll do things. They'll guard, they'll rebound, they'll get out in the passing lane. They're all committed to being part of it. And again, a lot of them it's their first varsity, much playing time, but they've bought in. And I think what you just said says a lot about them and why you're at 19-4 right now with the tough schedule that you face.
Yeah, they've all, like you said, they've all done their job. Riley's done a great job this year, her sophomore year, and just not scoring with her. She's averaged almost 7 rebounds a game. She's leading us in assists a game, and leading us in scoring and assists. That's a good quality to have. And Akela is our second leading scorer at the moment, and they're both right there neck and neck. But with her, she's like 0.4 assists behind Riley.
Yeah.
When your two best scorers at the moment are your two highest assists, that's very unselfishness. It's not like they're just going out there trying to get their own. Mariah Watkins has really came on lately, scoring in the 20s, had a 29-point game. When they tried to triangle into us against Montgomery County, she went off for 29. She's leading us in steals, I think 4.3 steals per game. She's doing a good job reading the passing lanes right now.
And you got to have that with the way you press.
Yeah.
You got to have that passing lane thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make them make a turnover, but you want to be able to manufacture those as well. And having someone like that can anticipate, that's huge for your style.
Yep. And then, the other ones are just falling into place with their roles. The other night against Father Tolton, we got in foul trouble, a little bit of foul trouble, and Madison Hutton came in. I think 8 of her 10 was in the first half when we really needed them. She stepped up and got hers right there in the first half, got to the free throw line, and really helped us out. And Swafford against Grand Valley came through in the clutch, and Riley Ball always gets their post player every night every night, and she does a good job defensively. And Abby Creedy until right after the Christmas, the holiday tournament, I finally pulled her aside and I said, are you ready? Because she hadn't played since her 8th grade year. Yeah. And I asked her, are you ready? Do you know everything? And she was like, yeah. And so I've turned her loose, and she's done a great job. She comes in, she's a spark of defense off the, she knows her role as well. She knows that that's what she's in there to do. And she comes in, she busts her tail the whole time. She's so athletic. She's just probably the most athletic kid on the floor. And she does a really nice job of her role, and that's what I've said all year. They've bought into their role, and they said, what do I need to do to help us win? And they've done it at a really high level.
Well, and it's interesting, like you said, with Abby Creedy, again, a 3-time All-State catcher.
Yeah.
Which in catcher is not where she typically plays. She plays like center field on her travel team and everything, but everyone kind of recruits her as a catcher, which isn't what her interest would be. And she's playing a role that was not her role when she was in junior high. Last time she played basketball, she was the primary ball handler. She was doing all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So again, interesting how they're willing to adapt. And you have someone like that's in a sport. Let's be honest, it didn't have to. That's her future. She chooses to play in college. She'll have them all lined up for. But she's willing to play a role to be part of this team, and that's just
and I'm so appreciative and thankful that she came out this year, as a junior, because a lot of kids that ain't played since 8th grade year, they're not going to come out their junior year and be like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. But she has, and she's done a really good job, and I really appreciate what she's done for us this year.
That's great. So let's take a look at going forward now. So again, it's been a heck of a season so far. regular season's winding down. We got 3 games left in the regular season. Borgia, which 13-8, Union's 11-8, but they're state ranked in Class 4, and then and Battle at 11-12. But like we were just talking, I mean, before we came on, heck of a team. I mean, they're getting after. They have big wins. Their losses are against high quality teams. So you have a lot coming on. So we're winding down the regular season. Those last 3 games. But I mean, it's peak time right now. The intensity is wrapping up because it is the playoff run.
Yep.
And that's really what these last 3 games are about, is really kind of fine tuning some things to get you going. So let's talk about either those teams or what these teams are going to do to help you on your playoff run.
You know, I really like this. These 3 teams we're looking at, we're getting ready to roll in the district. They're really going to make us battle tested. St. Francis Borgia is really going to kind of mirror some teams we're going to see in districts. They're going to kind of be like a Marquette or a Eureka. They got some size to them. They got a nice post player, some nice guards. Uh, excuse me, do a good job attacking the basket, run some ball screen stuff at you. They, you know, it's mirrored in those top tier teams of our district. So I'm really looking forward to playing them to see what we can do against them, because that's what we're going to see later on. And then Union, Coach Rapert has a good team down there. Like you said, they're ranked 10th in Class 5. 11-8, but their 8 losses are to Cardinal Ritter, Lutheran St. Charles. They've played the best of the best, and so you can't take them lightly at all. They're going to come in and they're going to scrap, and they're going to play a zone, and they're going to get after you defensively, and they're going to shoot a lot of threes. And then battle at set around 500, but they've, just like the rest of them, they played Lutheran St. Charles. They have played Incarnate Word, Hickman, Rockbridge. They've played the best of the best as well. So those 3 teams are gonna, and they got a lot of size to them as well. So those 3 teams rolling into districts is a great matchups for us, because that's going to help prepare us for what we're going to see.
And when I was looking at the kind of the matchup that over the season that you've had with them in common opponents, very similar in all of them. I mean, a lot of similar type, wins and losses against the same teams that you played. Battles played a lot of it's because of playing out of some of the CMAC teams that you've played this year. Again, and looking at those, that they ended up losing to Union, and we we're talking before. A lot of it's matchups, right? Where Union, I think, are typically more kind of guard heavy. I'm not sure if that's how they are this year.
Yeah.
And so, if the guards are hit from the outside, the post players, the big kids for Battle may have a hard time getting there, which is what you're going to be hoping on as well.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to try and use your press to make them put the ball on the floor, see what you can do with it. But if they become kind of dominant, or they're able to hit some outside shots and you have to extend, now it just opens up the middle. So a lot of matchups. But yeah, this is an exciting 3 games.
Yeah,
early on I wasn't thinking a lot about these because you had that middle stretch with some of those high quality teams. But as the seasons come along, it's like, man, this is
Yeah, when we went into this season and we had to revamp our schedule and everything, I was searching for who's going to test us going into districts. And so at the time, I think it was Tapmeyer who was going to be the Union coach. And, I'd played them over the summer, and I told him, I said, hey, let's schedule a game. Let's put that thing right before districts. And then I reached out to Coach Young, who's actually at Central Methodist now. He was the battle coach. And I reached out to him. I said, hey, let's play a game right before districts, because I knew that those teams was going to test us, and we needed to see something like that going into districts. So I helped, making my schedule, I put those right there to help us see something that we're going to see in districts, and help us, know what we need to work on going into that last week.
So looking at districts, so right now on paper, you guys had the best record. You have the highest ranking out of all the teams that are in there. Eureka's at 14-7. They're always pretty good. Marquette in the right around 500. A lot of the teams up there are 500, but again, those teams are all playing each other.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of those when you talk about in the SEC or any of those. You start to see all of a sudden the losses pile up that weren't there when they played the non-conference schools, even the high power non-conference schools. As they're going in, the conference is going to be 500. So you're seeing a lot of those type of impact on those. When's the seeding date going to be on
We
this?
seeded on the 23rd, Sunday at 5 o'clock. And then, Eureka and Marquette have a lot of the same losses. I think Marquette's lost to Lutheran St. Charles twice. Lost to Cardinal Ritter, lost to Eureka, but they beat Francis Howell, who had beat us. Eureka lost to Francis Howell. Um, both both really good squads, well coached squads. Got some kids that are really athletic, they're long and do some really nice things. And your Kirkwood, Parkway South could be, middle of the pack there. Parkway South has a post player average of 21 and 12. And that's something that
Yeah.
we don't have.
Yeah.
We don't have that post. So that's going to be, we got to figure out how, if we could see them, we could stop that. And there's a lot of good squads in our district. By no means is it a cakewalk. So it's
If
gonna be
it,
tough.
yeah, if the season finished today, I mean, most people are going to say, "Hey, you're going to have the number one seed in the district." However, it's voted on by the members of that district,
Yeah.
and there's definitely, besides us in Waynesville, everyone else.
And we're the outcasts.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Hopefully we don't get a lot of table talk happening beforehand.
Yeah.
But
It's going to happen. So,
yeah.
and again, I'm going to jump out here. Whatever they're going to, you're going to end up with it. They're going to try and get you to be a 2 or 3 seed, and they're going to have to draw straws on who gets the number 1 seed. Because I'm telling you right now, they don't want to have to face each other because that's what'll happen. You get the 1 seed, you're going to have Eureka and Marquette are going to be the 2 and the 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then that means they got to go to then play us. So that's a big spot. Getting that number 1 seed is huge right here. And again, good luck on battling for that.
That's why I was hoping to get that Borgia game in before Sunday. Somebody that's up from that's familiar with that area, up in there, and see how we done against them, because I really thought it would help towards the seed meeting on Sunday. So hopefully we can get that in before Sunday. Weather prevail, we'll see what happens, but that'd be a big game for us.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely cross our fingers on that. That's best luck, and that'll start on March 6th. Is it
day after the boys? Boys start the 5th, 6th. Yep.
So you're gonna be the
6th, 8th, and 11th.
Okay, 6th, 8th, and 11th is going to be ordered. So the boys are going to 5, 7th, 5th, 7th, and 10th.
Yep.
I believe is how that one's going. So, and yours will be held in at Lafayette in Wildwood. Yep. So
unless it's the first day is split, so it could be at Marquette too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so could be split, and then on the boys' side, we end up hosting all the games here in Rolla, and then if let's say you advance on quarterfinal, will you would have to then go to the other one, right?
Yep.
It's the odd number.
Yeah, we're on the road.
Okay, so we'll be on the road for the quarterfinal game. All right, so let's take a look real quick before we head out here on some of our sponsors here on Inside the Huddle. Again, love to have recognize them for everything that they've done for us. We got Angie Reese with MVP Apparel. Does all the Bulldog gear, got the Inside the Huddle stuff. Love what she does for us. Dan Collier, he's not just a good neighbor, he's a great neighbor. Does a lot of the chain gang stuff, so he's been around for a long time. Girl's been through the program. Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned. Bankers by day, Bulldog fans by night. Go to mypcb.com to find out more about them. Juan Skills Academy, Kobe Juan, 2-time All-State player. Again, we've talked about him a lot. The work he's done with all the players and on your staff, on your team, and on our team as well. I had the pleasure of coaching Kobe for a long time, so always great to have his support on here as well. I don't think we had this question before, but I know I think I might have went with Coach Miller on this. With the impending, Snowmageddon showing up, what is your sled of choice when it comes to sledding? Are we a saucer? Are we a steel runner? Are we a toboggan? Are we just the plastic ones? Are we going with the tube? Car hood? Because I know you're from Richland, man. Car hoods had to be. I don't know if that might have been outlawed by the time.
No, car hoods was still there back then. Now we got some plastic ones at home. We do have a saucer at home as well. Tend to put the girls on it a little more than myself.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing anymore. Like back in the.
Hey, what's your favorite sled? Come here real quick. Come here real quick. Come here. What's your favorite sled to sled on?
My favorite sled is red sled.
The red sled? You like a red one? Come over here. Come here. What's your favorite sled? Do you like to go sledding?
Yeah.
What's your favorite sled? Do you have a favorite one?
Like one you can sit on.
You want to sit on
the plastic blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like to sit up or do you like to lay down?
Sit up.
You like to sit up? Okay. Okay. Have you ever watched Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase? You got to watch out. They put the cooking spray on there. It can go
So you
really
can go
fast.
real fast. You like going really fast?
Eat my dust. That's what he says. All right. Anything about that? All right. So for Coach Parker and the little Parkers, thank you for joining us. Good luck tomorrow if we have it. The weather holds out. If not, have fun out there sledding with the kids.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You have fun. Make sure Dad doesn't get injured. Okay. We don't need him injured on the sideline. Does that sound good?
My dad.
Your dad. Oh man, I'm almost wanting to get in that hug.
Come on.
So for Coach Parker and the Parkers, I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle to the Heart of the Game. We'll see you next time.